Hey, how's it going? It's me, Blader. I'm here to show you guys my Noble Knight build again. This time it's post Legacy of the Valiant. I've been playing the deck a lot ever since the new cards came out. It took me a while to get all the actual cards in real life and actually do the whole deck profile because it cost me about close or maybe even over $1,000 to make. The deck is just well, I guess that's my fault because I go for the most expensive shiny cards, you know, first edition everything. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now my build. I think it's the best build so far for Noble Knights. I haven't proven it yet, but I'm about to pretty soon because I'm gonna go to regionals around March, hopefully, and maybe prove myself and show everyone why the deck is why I think it's the best variant so far. And I don't think it'll get any better until Primal Origins when we get our new support. So let me go ahead and show you guys my build. Alright, so right off the bat we have Rescue Rabbit, 3 Autorigus, 1 Lady, Ignoble Knight of Black Lancelin, got 3 Gwaine, 3 Madrat, and then over here got 3 Boars, 1 Gwalchfed, 1 Dristan, 2 Queens, 2 Destiny, 2 Excalibur, 1 Gallatin, you got 1 Caliburn, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Book, 1 Foolish, 2 Kaiser, 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, 3 Lances. Then we have our staple traps over here. We got Solemn, Bottomless, Compulse, and Torrential. Alright, now that I show you guys the basic build of it, let me go ahead and explain it to you real quick. Alright, let me first start off with the heart and soul of the deck, which is Autorigus. And no, it's not Madrat, no, it's not Boars, it's actually this guy right here. Now, if you're new to the archetype, you may be saying, well, why Blader? How could a normal 1800 normal monster be the heart and soul of the deck when what we really want to start off with is Madrat and Boris? Well, let me go ahead and answer that question for you. Look at all the cards around Autorigus. You have Gwaine, you have Lady of the Lake, you have Rescue Rabbit, you have Ignoble Knight of Black Lancelin. All these cards around Autorigus, they all synergize with him. He's the main reason why we play pretty much all these cards around him. Because without him at 3, Gwaine won't be as live. If you don't play Autorigus at 3, Lady won't be as live. You obviously can't play Rabbit. And there's no point playing this guy if you don't play 3 Autorigus. So he actually provides a lot of combo potential with the deck. So I feel like with him, a lot of our cards become pretty essential, pretty live. It's the reason why we're able to go into Exceeds pretty quickly. Reason why we can get out of sticky situations by just summoning her or Rabbit. You know, this guy is just, he provides a lot of potential and combos with the deck. That if you didn't run him, your deck would essentially be a lot more linear, a lot more predictable. So that's why I feel like we should run this at 3. And obviously we have Rabbit over here. Okay, so why do I run Rabbit? Well, let me go ahead and explain that for you. Rabbit essentially gives us a 10% increase of opening up well. So if you run Rabbit with the 3 Madrat, 3 Boars, and Reinforcement of the Army, you essentially have a 55% chance of opening up one of those cards. Whereas if you didn't run Rabbit, you would only have a 45% chance of opening up well. So I would much rather have a 10% increase in my opening hands of opening well rather than, you know, not having that at all. And that's the main reason why I run him, is because he just gives us a better opening hand if we just so happen to run this guy. You know, if we just so happen to draw him. You may be asking, why do you run Ignoble Knight of Black Lancelin? And you know what? That's a very good question. With him, you can go ahead and just summon Autorigus, drop a Gwen. Then you can go ahead, exceed these two, and go ahead and play Fujinti, Tsukiyomi. This card right here, I feel is a staple to the deck, as it gives us draw power and gets rid of bad hands. So if you happen to draw this guy, you can set all of your magic and trap cards and have him in the hand, and then go ahead and detach a material, ditch Lancelin to the graveyard, and draw 2 more cards. Now you have Lancelin in the grave, and you have 2 cards in your hand that you can possibly use the combo potential off of this guy. So that's what happens if you dead draw into this dude. So there's ways to make advantage out of him, even after you draw him. And while he is in the grave, if this guy's in the grave, you can go ahead and try and get Lady in the grave. Now, if you get both of these cards into the grave at the same time, essentially any normal monster you summon turns into this guy right here, the Ignoble Knight of High Lancelin. Yeah, just go ahead and summon any normal monster. It turns into this dude, and then you can start searching from your deck, start setting up your combos in your hand when he dies, and then just start going off on your opponent next turn. So that's one of the main reasons why I run Ignoble Knight of Black Lancelin. Plus, he provides a lot of combos that he gets out of a lot of situations that it's very hard for me to explain, but maybe if I can show you guys in some videos later, I can pretty much show why I like him so much. Now let me go ahead and explain, what is it, Lady of the Lake? I only run 1 of her. I don't run 2 or 3, and the main reason I only run 1 is because I found throughout all my testing that 1 is enough. I only need 1 Ignoble Knight of High Lancelin to do what I need to do to win the game. I never went into 2. If I did, it was very rare. So I decided to just use 1 of her, and just go ahead and use like more trap cards in my deck instead of running more of her. You know, I just feel like I need more defense. And 1 is really all I need. I don't really need any more than that. Plus, with her and Foolish Burial, this card right here, this card can essentially search her out. Because it's very easy. Like, if I say I have Black Lancelin, hold on. If I have this card in the grave already, and I go ahead and Foolish, and then I put Lady into the grave, then I can easily just summon any monster I want, and then go into Ignoble Knight of High Lancelin. So she becomes a searchable target with this card right here, which this card is now indeed a staple, I think, for the deck, because this can search out Guinevere, Ignoble Knight, or you can dump in a Torgus for Lady to use. So yeah, that's why I run Lady, Ignoble Knight, Rescue Rabbit, and Gwen right here. I run in 3s because if you run a Torgus at 3, this has to be at 3 because he becomes really live, and there's a lot of powerful exceeds you can use to get out of a lot of situations that are deadly. Now that we have Exkit Knight and 101 Shark Knight. So now that I explained that to you guys, let me go ahead and explain the other cards to my deck. Alright, right here are the 3 Madrats and 3 Boars. These two cards, Madrat and Boars, should always be run at 3. Always run them at 3, because you always want to open at least 1. These 2 guys, they're mostly at the same power level, but Madrat's a little bit better, because he can search any Noble Knight card from the deck. This guy is actually your main engine for setting up king plays. So you always want to draw at least 1 of these dudes. So they have to be run at 3. If anyone says to run Boars at 2 and not 3 is a moron and shouldn't be taken seriously, in all honesty, because that's how important he is to the deck. You should always run these cards at 3. Also right here, we run 1 Chad and 1 Dristan. Chad, he can become a 1 card XYZ summon if you happen to have Gwaine and Queen into the grave. So he's also Gwaine fodder, and if you're able to grind out a little bit, you can go ahead and keep adding cards back to your hand, so you can start setting up on your opponent for next turn and possibly explode. So, you know, I think he's a good card to have at 1. You never want to draw, or you never want to play more than 1. And the reason I say that is because he's terrible early game. You do not want to open this guy. Generally, you really don't want to. He's only good mid to late game. So it's best to run only 1, because you don't want to increase bad opening hands. This right here, same thing with Dristan. I mean, he's not terrible first turn, but you essentially want to only go second with him, because if you go second, then you can start popping monsters that are possibly face up on the field. He's a good card to have, I mean, at 1, but more than that, I just don't feel like he's as great. I mean, you can run him at 2, but I personally prefer him to run him only at 1. Alright, now that I showed you guys the rest of my Noble Knights, let me go ahead and show you the rest of my deck. Alright, so now that we got done with the monster cards, let's go ahead and talk about the Noble Arms cards. So, as you can see, I run 8. I do not run the standard 10. And you may be asking, okay, Blader, how come you don't run the standard 10? Well, when I was running 10, the problem I would find is that I would open a little too many Noble Arms cards, and maybe like not enough monsters, and not enough traps. So that kind of bugged me, as I can't defend myself with nothing but, you know, equips in my hand. And that would really get me mad, because I mean, you know, what can I do with nothing but equips in my hand? So I went ahead and just dropped it to 8. I only put in the ones that I think are the most important. I left out Arthur. I cut a Gallatin, and so I only run like 1 Gallatin, 1 Caliburn, 2 Destiny, 2 Queens, and 2 Excaliburns. I don't really need to run any more Noble Arms cards than these right here, as I feel this is the core, the main core of what makes the Noble Knight deck powerful, because you really only need 1 Caliburn, you really only need 1 Gallatin, 2 Destiny because it's the best Noble Arms, you need 2 Gwens because 1 can get banished, and you have to run at least 2 Excaliburns because you might want to go ahead and rank up into your rank 5 King while still having an extra Excaliburn into the grave, so that you can prevent your opponent from targeting you. So that's my explanation for that right there, and let me go ahead and explain the other cards in my deck. Okay, so now we're moving on to the spells and traps. Right on top of here, let's start here. We got the staples, Book of Moon, reinforcements. I really shouldn't have to explain these two, but yeah, they're the staples, so no need to explain that. This right here, we have 3 Lance and 3 Mysticals. You have to get your plays off, there's no question. If you keep getting trap hold, if you keep getting solemned, well, you're going to lose the game, because we need our normal summons to go off, and what better cards to use than these right here? You know, I was thinking about Trap Stun, in all honesty. I play tested it, but I found Lance to be ultimately better. Like, and every time I had a Trap Stun in my hand, I'd much rather have Lance. You know, I just think Lance is just so much better. So that's why I run 3 of these. Right here, 2 Kaiser. So this card completely shits on so many matchups. Completely wrecks Mermails, Geargia. It can wreck Fire Fist. The only 2 decks, the only 2 meta relevant decks that this doesn't shit on is Prophecy and Bujins. That's it. Those are the only 2 decks, and if you happen to face them, you can always side these cards out. But with the vast majority of other decks, it just completely wrecks them. Do this, and a first turn king, it's usually GG from there. So that's why I run 2 of these. This right here, you got the staple traps, or really the most powerful traps in the game. You got your Solemn Warning, Bottomless, Compulse, and Torrential. This is just for standard defense. I feel like you should run it because if you can't get your normal summon off and you don't happen to have, if you don't run any traps, what's to stop your opponent from OTKing you? So that's why I run these. Now that I showed you and explained the whole deck and all the cards I run in it, let me go to explain and show you guys my extra deck. Alright, so right here is my extra deck. Since I run only one lady, I run one Ignoble Knight of High Lancelin. I only need one to go off, I only need one to get my combo pieces. I never go into two if I did run two, so one is all I need. One Gaia Charger to overlay with the Sacred King, just in case I need it. So you run 2 kings of each, because that's just what you do. It's standard, you have to do it. You should be doing it. No questions asked. Always have to run at least 2 of each. Moving down, Lavavo Chain. This right here is a very important key card for the deck, as well as Bujente Tsukiyomi, as running this and this gives you dumping potential and draw power, especially with this card. This card is so, I would consider it very underrated right now for the whole archetype, because I don't think many Noble Knight players run this card in the extra deck, which they should, since we need draw power right now, because our consistency isn't up to par compared to Fire Fist and Prophecy. This card helps fixes that problem, so it should be run. This right here, you have your extra deck staple cards. You got Exkit Knight, Shark 101. These have to be played if you're playing a rank 4 deck. Gaga Cowboy staple, Blade Armor Ninja, and Heroic Champion Excalibur, Standard OTK, Maestroke. I'm going to actually replace this guy with another 101. I've never really went into him really at all ever since playtesting. So yeah, I'm going to replace him with another 101 real soon. This right here, Starliege Paladynamo. There might be situations where you want to run this guy or take him out onto the field and start wrecking face. So yeah, that's why I run him. I think he should be played as well. So yeah, that right there is my extra deck. I do of course run a side deck. I could show you guys, but you know, I run the standard side. You know, Mistake, you know, Royal Decree, DD Crow. I run those cards. It pretty much depends on the meta. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. I will be doing more. I will be doing more videos pretty soon. I'm gonna explain all the combos that you can do with certain cards and what you should do if you have a certain hand. How can you get out of certain situations? You know, I'll explain all that. You know, I want to say thank you for actually taking the time to actually look at my deck profile. I'm really glad I could do it. You know, I really hope this channel that I have becomes very successful in the future. I feel it will be. It's mainly just Noble Knight related. You know, that's just what I focus on. So you know, stick around if you want to go ahead and you know, find out more information how to play this deck better. What's going to be in store for the future? What are the best builds? I'll explain all that. So yeah, just stick around and I'll show you what you want to know. Alright, see you later.